It's 6 p.m. time for the news bulletin on Channel 2. I am Basma Taha, and starting off with the main headlines of the day. President Sisi holds a meeting with Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli and the Finance Minister over social protection programs. Hamas to deliver 4 Israeli captives in exchange for released Palestinian prisoners and detainees. And Arab League chief slams Israeli airstrikes south of Damascus that kill 4. Welcome back. The news in full. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi directed the government to put best policies and special social protection programs in coordination with state authorities in order to expand services provided to low and middle income brackets. President el-Sisi's remarks were made as he chaired a meeting with Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli and Minister of Finance Ahmed Kajak on Wednesday. Presidential spokesman Mohammed al-Shinawi said the meeting tackled a number of social protection packages that had been finalized by the government with the aim of alleviating burdens on citizens within the framework of the state efforts to enhance the social protection. Shinawi added that the meeting probed the government efforts to ensure the provision of sufficient strategic commodities in suitable prices ahead of the holy month of Ramadan. President Sisi held talks with Premier Madbouli and Minister of Education and Technical Education Mohammed Abdul Latif. Presidential spokesman Mohammed al-Shinawi said that President Sisi was briefed on exerting efforts to upgrade the whole educational system. Minister Abdul Latif reviewed with President Sisi development in establishing Japanese and top student schools, as well as providing students with special needs with best educational services, in addition to supplying students with healthy meals, as well as periodic examination of students in cooperation with the Ministry of Health and Population. The meeting also tackled the establishment of applied technical schools, which is considered an active pattern in promoting the technical education in Egypt. President Sisi received on Wednesday cables of greetings from state officials on the approaching holy month of Ramadan. Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli wished the president good health and continued success in his drive for development in Egypt. Minister of Defense Abdel Majid Sakr also sent a cable of greetings to the president, renewing the armed forces' loyalty for the nation and their sacrifice and continuous efforts under his wise leadership. House of Representatives Speaker, Councillor Hanafi Gilali congratulated the president over the upcoming Ramadan, as well as Senate Speaker Abdul Wahab Abdul Razik wished the Arab and Islamic nations security, stability, and prosperity. Minister of Foreign Migration and Egyptian Expatriates Affairs Badr Abdulati reviewed Egypt's plan for Gaza reconstruction with EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas over a phone call. The foreign minister said he looks forward to EU support to the Egyptian plan that is being drafted with the aim of undertaking reconstruction of the Gaza Strip while ensuring Palestinians remain in their lands. The top diplomat also briefed the EU minister on Egyptian efforts to uphold the ceasefire in Gaza and called on the EU to boost humanitarian aid to the Strip. Meeting with Chief of the Iraqi National Wisdom Movement Ammar al-Hakim, Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati today reiterated Egypt's supportive stance to the security and stability of Iraq. The meeting tackled the latest developments in Gaza, with the minister reviewing Egypt's efforts to ensure the sustainability of a ceasefire agreement in Gaza and its plan to launch reconstruction of the war-torn Strip, while stressing the state rejection of the evacuation of Palestinians from their land. On Syria, Abdulati affirmed that Egypt continues to support Syria's state sovereignty and territorial integrity. An Egyptian-informed source said Gaza ceasefire mediators struck an agreement to secure the release of Palestinian prisoners who were due to be freed last week from Israeli jails. The source said all prisoners will be released at the same time when the bodies of the 4 dead Israeli captives are delivered under Egyptian supervision. Palestinian group Hamas said it will return the bodies of 4 dead Israeli captives in Gaza on Thursday. Hamas spokesman Abdulatif Al-Qanu said that in exchange, Israel would release the Palestinian prisoners. It delayed their release as well as an unspecified number of women and minors detained since the war erupted. On Sunday, the group accused Israel of endangering the Gaza truce by delaying the release of 600 Palestinian prisoners. 328 aid trucks began entering the Gaza Strip on Wednesday from Rafah border crossing under the humanitarian part of the Gaza ceasefire deal. The trucks will be checked at Karm Abu Salim and Auga crossing points before entering the Palestinian enclave. Palestinian NGOs said the Israeli destruction campaign continued in the northern West Bank city of Tulkarem on Wednesday for the 18th day in an attempt to replay the Israeli war of aggression in Gaza. They warned that this campaign, that including infrastructure, roads, housing, buildings, and also coincides with the month-long incursion in neighboring Jenin. Meanwhile, Philip Lazzarini, head of the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, said Israel is turning the West Bank into a battlefield. He said that around 40,000 people have been forced to flee their homes, especially in refugee camps in the north. Israel began its intensified operations in the West Bank 2 days after the truce deal in Gaza came into effect. Syria's interim President Ahmed al-Shara met with Jordan's King Abdullah II in Amman on Wednesday on his 3rd foreign visit since ousting Bashar al-Assad. The royal court said in a statement that King Abdullah II greeted Shara at Amman's Makkah airport. The two leaders then headed to Baghdad Palace for their first talks since Shara took power. Shara was accompanied by Foreign Minister Asad al-Shaybani, who had visited Amman in January for talks with his counterpart Ayman Safadi. During Shaybani's visit, the two governments agreed to work together to tackle narcotics and weapons smuggling across shared borders. Arab League Secretary General Ahmed Abul Gheit condemned latest Israeli airstrikes and ground incursions in Syria as a reckless provocation and escalation that seizes the opportunity of political transition in Syria to establish an illegal and illegitimate reality. Abul Gheit called for the international community to take clear positions to condemn this unjustified aggression that aims to ignite tension in the region and put obstacles in the way of political transition in Syria. 4 people were killed after Israeli warplanes hit a town south of Syria capital as well as the southern province of Daraa late on Tuesday. On the sidelines of the International Defense Fair EDEX 2025 in the UAE, Air Forces Commander General Mahmoud Fouad Abdel Jawad met with the Emirates Air Forces and Air Defense Commander Rashid Mohammed El Shamsi. The meeting tackled issues of mutual interest for boosting cooperation between Egypt and the UAE. Air Forces Commander also held meetings with representatives of leading global aviation and space companies participating in EDEX in preparations for Egypt's 2nd International Air Exhibition due in Al-Alamein next year. Russia's defense ministry said it had shot down 128 Ukrainian drones overnight over Russian regions and annexed Crimea in one of the largest Ukrainian attacks since the start of the war in February 2022. Kiev has stepped up airstrikes against energy and military facilities on Russian territory in recent months. Egypt's bourse closed lower today amid local and foreign investor and corporate sell-offs against Arab investor and corporate purchases. The market capital of listed companies exceeded 2.2 trillion Egyptian pounds at the end of trading amid net transactions of 32.8 billion pounds. The benchmark index EGX 30 dipped 0.07% above the 30.630 point mark. The equal weighted indices EGX 70 and EGX 100 fell 0.06% and 0.01% respectively. The Saudi Debt Management Center said today that Saudi Arabia raised about $2.36 billion from a sale of its debut 7-year green euro bond and 12-year conventional bond. The green bond is the first for the kingdom as the world top oil exporter seeks to diversify away from oil. Saudi Arabia has forecast a fiscal deficit of $27 million for 2025 as it continues strategic spending on projects linked to its Development Vision 2030, a plan to overhaul its national economy. Defending champions Al-Ahli beat host Haras Al-Hudud 1-0 in the 14th round of the Egyptian Premier League. The win put the Red Devils in the first place in the league standings on 36 points, level with Pyramids on goal difference. Meanwhile, the military men rank 6th on 22 points. Liverpool can move a step closer towards securing their 20th all-time English League championship when they host Newcastle United. The Egyptian Meteorological Authority said the cold weather is expected to prevail tomorrow during daytime over Cairo, the northern coast, Upper Egypt and Sinai, cooling off at night all over the country. Here is a look at the expected high and low degrees in Cairo. Dear viewers, by that we come to the end of our news bulletin. Thanks for watching. That was Basmata.